When the pain grows, anything goes. Devil is a lie, looking for the prize. That's eternal life, and bringing the things in my mind. I'm talking real peace of mind. That's something money can't buy.
What's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy KingMarcell, and I'm back with another video. So the YSL case is getting heated, it's getting interesting, it's getting crazy. So apparently the star witness, the one that they had that started all of this, literally is refusing to take the stand against Thug. It's getting crazy out here, man. I thought by now, like I stopped paying attention to this case. I'm like, oh yeah, they got this man damn near dead to rights. They finna lock him up, throw away the key. But I ain't gonna lie, if this man don't take the stand, I don't think that they have much of a case. If anything, he gonna get hit with time served. So we finna see what the hell is going on. I wouldn't have never thought that this would happen. Make sure you guys like this video and hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. But let's get into this, man.
How can I help myself? That's all I'm asking. I know people are gonna go do it.
He said, how can I help myself?
I can give it time when they gonna go do it. So y'all can kick them in the ass. The person y'all just think that I just tell me anything. He wants him.
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please?
Hey, can I step outside, please?
Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
Because why would the judge be mad at that?
The state
The judge
attorney's
is supposed to be
office
impartial.
in the YSL Rico trial, the Young Thug trial, they are in shambles after the star witness refused to testify and he's not being taken to jail. Now this comes after many years of feeding these boys information, you feel me? We've even seen viral videos of Lil Woody in the interrogation room telling the detectives everything they wanted to know about Young Thug, to pass responsibility and get himself lesser times for some crimes, you feel me? But things were much different when you actually gotta look that man in the face and go ahead and tell on him. Now the day began like a clown show, man. I don't know if this dude was trying to play dumb or if he is dumb. I'll let y'all be the judge of that, but the real judge,
because what his lawyers got to be telling me is, man, the way this shit looking, how so much stuff is being like treated as uncircumstantial and stuff like that. Man, if you don't take the stand, they damn near don't got a case. And if they ain't got no case on Thug, they damn near ain't got no case on you. And if they do, you probably not gonna end up doing the years that, you know what I'm saying, they talking about. So it's just looking like a lot of corruption is going on. I'm not gonna lie. And this is no way in me defending what Thug is did, because we all know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact of it's the corruption that it seems like is behind the scenes that's getting exposed. And it's kind of crazy.
He was trying to explain to dude that he has immunity, okay? He has immunity. So if he testified, nothing that he says will have him sent to jail, even if he implicates himself in a crime. He's good. But if he pleads the fifth, which is what he was trying to do, he'll be held in contempt, be arrested, all right?
How much time is that?
All right, Mr. Copeland.
We gonna look that up right now. How long are you arrested for if you're held with contempt? 6 months? Oh, 6 months? So he got immunity. So I wonder if that immunity, rather if he say anything or not, it's gonna stick. Or if it's not, again, what big do they have a case on him? That's what it's finna turn into if they got a case on him. Because if he willing to do that 6 months stead, he like, man, y'all probably only got me for this 6 months. And I ain't got to tell on nobody. I ain't got to.
Your counsel, Mr. Melnick, have you had an opportunity to talk with him about testifying today?
Yes.
All right. Has the state provided you a letter of immunity or a copy of the order that I have signed directing that they give you use immunity?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Can we see that, please? Can I need 2 copies of it. Actually, 3.
Why the judge looking like he got some shit in stake with this?
Not yet, sir.
It's just seeming weird. This is
Doesn't apply
starting
to
to
you
come
yet,
off
Mr.
very
Steele.
weird. Shout out to Stacy, man, too. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to his channel. I watch this man all the time.
But it is going to be part of the record, Mr. Steele. I haven't filed it yet under Odyssey. I don't think it's made the Odyssey system quite
See,
yet.
y'all
So.
subscribe here too.
Anyways. Huh?
We have a proposed order.
But I signed the order this morning, though.
I meant the manner in which it will be filed will not be made public.
Okay, all right. Which copy's been given to Mr. Copeland? The order pursuant? All right, all right. Do we have extra copies of that?
A little bit more for y'all.
All right, Mr. Copeland, I'm going to mark this as the next court's exhibit in order, okay? Mr. Copeland, can you take a look at that order for me, please, sir?
Hey, I'm not saying shit.
All right, let's just go through it right quick, okay? I just want to make sure that you understand where you are and you have your attorney here. And if you have questions of the court or your counsel, you can go ahead and do that, okay?
So the thing that is what's going on is that he has a separate attorney than Thug. They don't have the same attorney, so they shouldn't be in on it with each other. But if they all are in on it with each other, why wouldn't they coordinate?
You have to answer yes or no, sir.
All right.
Okay, all right. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to do anything other than explain this to you, all right?
That's a lie.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Mr. Copeland, this order reads basically, the state of Georgia has moved the court pursuant to this particular statute, which is 24-5-507, to compel your testimony. And our district attorney, Ms. Willis, having determined that your testimony is materially as necessary to the public interest. And that is, and if you take a look at the footnote, sir, I'm sure your attorney's probably explained this to you, that she has the purview of determining whether or not your testimony is needed for a particular trial. I don't even have that authority. Your attorney doesn't have that authority. You can't decide that maybe it's not really necessary. She makes that decision. So, and it's in the public interest. So you've been subpoenaed in this case to appear before and give testimony in this particular matter. And state has provided the court sufficient reasons as to why you are necessary as a witness in this case.
He's very necessary.
It appears that you've been properly subpoenaed to appear as a witness in this case, and that your testimony is necessary in the public interest. So that's how we, as a due process, gets you to come to court. I mean, you were noticed as a witness. They've identified you as a witness. They've determined that your testimony is needed.
But will he give it?
Because of the fact that you have some concerns about what your testimony may indicate or could indicate in this case, and that's something that you and your counsel have talked about, and I'm not certainly going to inquire about that. But in order to potentially deal with anything that may come out of that, the state is basically, knowing that you have a Fifth Amendment privilege, says, okay, we acknowledge that. We're going to give you immunity.
We got to start asking ourselves when we go to court, at least here in the United States, but I'm pretty sure this goes for anywhere the Commonwealth is. Whenever you go to court and they say it's against the state or whatever province you live in, you ask, who is that? Because that's a privately owned entity. Who is that? Because if they ain't in that courtroom, what are you doing now? Who is the state? Is the judge the state? Is the district attorney the state? Or are they representatives of the state? But even still, who is the state? These are questions that we got to start asking.
And as a result of that, then you have to testify as a result of that. If you don't testify, then I, as the judge in this case, have several remedies. One of those is that I could hold you in contempt and jail you because the way that you get out of that contempt is to just testify. That's the only thing they wanted in this case for you to testify. So your attorneys told me you're going to invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. Done, said. However, the immunity has been signed. I have a copy of that right now. So you're required to testify. So if you don't testify, the state's probably going to ask me to jail you. And I'm probably going to do that.
Who is the state? He said the state is going to ask that he jail. Who is this state? Or are you going to make that determination up to yourself, judge? Because you have a financial interest in the case. Who is giving the judge the order to prosecute him? These are questions we gotta ask, and I know y'all might think, oh, I'm dumb, and y'all think I'm wearing this crown for no reason. I'm just asking y'all to Google these things yourself. Hell, go to on TikTok and search, because what he's not going to testify. I already know he gonna tell the judge that he's gonna testify, but he's not gonna testify. He want the jurors to hear that he's saying, I plead my Fifth Amendment rights. But they don't want the jurors to hear that. And that's a big worry. That should be a big concern that all of you all should be thinking about. Why don't they want the jury to hear him say, I want to invoke my Fifth Amendment rights?
I'd like you to go ahead out and talk with your lawyer and tell me what you want to do at that point in time, okay?
Do you need any more time to talk, Mr. Copeland? Okay. What is your desire at this time?
I'm taking the Fifth.
Okay, you've taken the Fifth, but you've got immunity, but you still want to, are you going to testify? That's the thing.
No.
That's the question.
That's the question on the floor. I've acknowledged the fact you have a Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state's given you immunity, so that overrides that Fifth Amendment privilege. They require you to testify.
Yeah, but the state don't know what they're talking about. So they ask me a question that implicate me, then...
Okay, they can't prosecute you on that. They can't.
Who is they?
The order prohibits them from allowing them to use that testimony against you. That's what your lawyer, and I'm not going to get into any of the machinations or intricacies of what may or may not have happened in this case, but Mr. Melnick is a very seasoned criminal defense attorney. I've seen him over the past 2 decades. I'm sure that he's probably given you very, very good advice, but the state can't use that testimony. They can't kind of say, have it both ways, like you testify and then use that against you to indict you and prosecute you. Then we wouldn't have any faith that we need to have people come in and give testimony. So that's why they can't do that. They kind of can't go back on what they're going to tell you, So I signed the order. They've asked for immunity. I've signed the order. So basically, whatever you have to tell us, you'll tell us.
So what the judge is basically saying is, we already fucked up by already giving you immunity. Regardless of what you say up here, you got immunity from anything. Even if you invoke your Fifth Amendment rights, you got that immunity. But if you don't testify, I can hold you in contempt for not holding up your side of the bargain, and then you'll do 6 months. That's literally the gist of it. That's the gist. He can still not, now he cannot say anything. He said he would snitch, but now that he's not snitching, he already still has immunity. And if he don't say nothing up there, he would just only have to do 6 months. He like, I'd rather do 6 months than to tell on that man. 6 months ain't shit. I'll do a 6-month bid. Because, again, Young Thug and them, they doing whatever they doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, even though we know it's damn near wrong. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna excuse nobody wickedness, you know what I'm saying? But what's at play here is what the courts are doing and what this judge is trying to act like he's not doing. Because again, the question is going to keep coming up. Who is this state that they talking about? They saying it's a they, it's a them, it's a he. They're using all these different pronouns and shit for the states. Who is the state?
Say no more.
Okay, so we all heard that boy say no more. So we think he about to go ahead and spill the beans. But the crazy exchange happened. So the judge was getting ready to bring the jury back in, but then Woody realized he funked up. Check this out right here, bro.
Do you wish to testify, Mr. Copeland?
He didn't mess up.
Is that no? You have to say no on the record.
Say it again.
Do you wish to testify?
He said I can tell him whatever I got to tell him.
That's right.
You see?
You will testify.
He said, see, he want to tell them something. He don't think that means testify. He thinks when they come back out there, he's going to have something to say to them. What he has to say to them is, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. But the judge don't want them to hear that. He's bypassing the judge, which he should be doing. He getting tried by his fellow, what do they call the jurors? Basically men in their community, men and women of their community. But the judge is running interference for the state. This is heavy fraud that's going on. And people just catching on to their game. He has some good lawyers, even though he doesn't need a lawyer to do this.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Okay. What we're going to do in just a second is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call for our jurors. I will formally administer the oath to you. And then the state will ask you some questions, okay?
A couple pictures in his
and then you'll be cross-examined at some point in time by potentially some...
my attorney before, because I think I just said the wrong thing.
Sure. I'll tell you what, why don't you step outside and talk to Mr. Melnick.
He is not about to testify.
All right, so after speaking to his lawyers and everything, all that good shit, I think he spoke to the prosecutors as well. So Woody still came back in and said he would testify. Right. But that's when shit got wild.
Yep, because he just wanted them to hear that. He's invoking
all right,
his
sir.
right.
What's your pleasure?
Say what?
I said, what's your pleasure, sir? Do you wish to give testimony? I know you don't want to give testimony in this case, but you've been given immunity in this particular circumstance, use immunity. So, are you going to testify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, sir. Then what we'll do at this point in time is we'll call for our jurors and we'll swear you in, and we'll go ahead and take your testimony. Okay.
All right.
All right. All right, Mr. Copeland, go ahead and approach the witness stand. Before you sit down, if you would turn and face Deputy Hand and be sworn as a witness.
You swear affirm testimony to everybody get reported the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
And I bet he just finna say.
Maybe see you state your first and last name.
I plead the fifth on you, Bugs.
State your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Mr. Copeland, do me a favor. Pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone and speak directly into it so we can all hear you. So if you could state and spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Spell it, please.
KENNETHCOPELAND.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am?
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please?
Why is he making the jurors leave?
All right.
Why is he making the jurors leave just because he said, I plead the fifth? Just because he said he plead the fifth. He's invoking his right that the judge don't want him to be able to use. Because the judge and the district attorney, man, it seems like they on some corrupt ass shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It seems very corrupt on their side on how they trying to do this prosecution. And it's like, how many people have they gotten locked up by doing shit like this? And they doing it right in front of us for the world to see. You guys better start creating your own trust. Create a trust. Understand what a trust is. Please. Authenticate your birth certificates. Anybody who lives within the Commonwealth, authenticate your birth certificates. Look into it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please proceed. Our jury has left us. Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
Take him into custody.
So that boy's trying to stand on business, huh? Okay. Now, I think honestly that, he was trying to be on some cute shit and trying to play the prosecutor, but to keep it G, I don't think he's smart enough for that shit. I don't think he's smart enough, you feel me? I think he could have answered those silly questions.
See, this is why, man, a lot of us have to start studying. Just a little, I'm telling you, a little knowledge go a long way. Understanding that case law has nothing to do over us. It doesn't have any jurisdiction over us at all. Like knowing that and fully correcting your status wherever you live, you literally royalty. They literally can't mess with you. They can try to play these games, but then you can sue. But this is looking very disgusting.
But he wanted to have any dignity that he had left in front of his YSL boys and that tough. But Woody, my boy, it's too late. It's way too late, my boy. You're the star witness, and everyone who cares about this shit is seeing you. Everybody and their mama done seen you in these viral videos telling folks what they wanted to hear for years. See, the reason why they wanted Woody to testify is without him, they seem to not have much of a case because he was supposed to string together many of their theories. Listen to the state speak after the judge asked them, okay, if it ain't gonna be Woody, who's gonna be your next witness? They don't know what the hell they gonna do.
Ms. Lovett and Ms. Hilton or Mr. Atkins, who is going to be called? Let's assume that Mr. Copeland invokes again. Do you have some other witnesses that we can?
They don't.
We can
they
take
don't
up
have
at that
nobody
point?
else.
Your Honor, we will apprise after we look at and reevaluate where we are, because our order of proof was building blocks that at this point began with Mr. Copeland. And there are certain things that have to take place before we can tell them anything. So we have to do that. We have to deal with that and where we are right now.
All right.
And
that's just
where we are.
Okay, so if you ever missed it, here goes a little snippet. A little bit of what Woody was giving them, the information, the goods that he was giving them in the past.
How can I help myself? That's all I'm asking.
Like I said, we can't, Woody, I can't make it any clearer.
So that's this pointless.
No, it's not pointless. Like I said, we'll communicate. What I'm saying is I can't offer you anything. Investigator Flores can't offer you anything. We can let the district attorney's office know and down there that you were cooperative.
The information I have, they want to hear to right now.
I mean, we can pass it to them.
You saying you can pass it to them. I'm thinking something gonna happen today.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Somebody's supposed to get killed tonight.
Who?
You know who.
I don't know who. But who? There's so much going on in the city. I don't know who. You're gonna have to.
I ain't see this shit.
This is a murder that's about to take place with some very high people, and the stuff that I know right now. I mean, she'll be able to help me get out of my situation.
So like,
I can tell y'all this much right here. I know the people who are gonna go do it. I can give it time when they gonna go do it.
Shit be getting real
So
in
y'all can
the
get them in the
interrogation room.
I know.
Who's the target?
One guess.
I mean, Lucci's
Shout out to you, Stacy, for real, man. You put this shit together.
She always been tight.
Who?
Kill.
Who's always been tight?
Share Kill.
I know.
He's this man. He's a sexual this guy. He won. This is as much as I can say. Cause y'all already take.
Wait, you're like, I'm gonna get lost. You said who's tight with the show? Like, if your friend's not here, nobody can hear you. Like, your friend's not here. We moved him.
That camera on me, will you? That camera point right
the
at me.
y'all just think that I just tell me anything. He wants him. He want him as bad.
So you're talking about Jeffrey.
But one thing I do know you can call someone on their phone and they hear what I have to say. And I can call this person right here in y'all face with a better background and let y'all hear and see his face tell me how they plan on doing this. Or
call who?
The person who I'm talking about. I care for him and I hate I'm doing it to him, but
who?
I don't think.
I'm not gonna say
You know some
pretty
people.
sure.
I don't know.
this somebody who close to me.
Is it Young Bug?
I didn't say no name. What time it is?
7:04.
If I could be released before 11 to 12 o'clock, to show you how serious I am, I could be released. People can see me and Money coming out of jail together. The city jail for whatever. Y'all can be right there to see me meet up with them and discuss well, however y'all want to take it by then. Y'all see where Cuddy ran in, y'all can catch them in the act. Y'all can do that. Right now, this nigga here is so smart that he moving different. It's hard to keep up with how he moving.
What do you mean?
So he not moving how he used to move. He moved different. But he want this nigga so bad that he's back reckless.
Why he want him so bad?
Because I can give everybody a name.
He was giving them the full
like I said, I don't know what
entree. He was giving their ass the whole motherfucking enchilada platter right in their face. They was like, oh, we got these niggas. He got up there and told their ass, I plead the fifth. That's crazy.
Because they don't have a hot cut up of my knowledge right now, but most likely, like I said, I can meet up with them right before they do it. Y'all
That
can
puts you in too much danger. We can't do that.
No.
We're gonna have to rethink a plan. They're not gonna do that.
Okay.
Because if God forbid something happens to you, it's on us.
No, it's different because they trust me. They trust me. Even with the situation with me and Thug, we both look at each other sideways when we around. But he still do this a lot. And I just look at him like, he's still stupid. You know what I mean? Like he rich, why would you be stupid? That's why I get away from him. I get away from him. That's why you never see me post it. I don't know, you know what I mean? I just hate being around. But the truth is,
that's crazy.
These niggas right here, you can sit right here. They wouldn't even look your way. You can sit right there. Let's say 656. You could be sitting right there, and they would come in, and they go talk to me right there while you right there.
Boy, save yourself, huh? Nah, like I said when I was covering the Bun B situation, I really don't care about a civilian telling people what's going on, especially if someone did something to them. I don't give a damn about that. But if you are participating in some crimes and to get less time, you go ahead and, drop the dime on your boys, I don't fuck with that shit. I feel like you're a coward. I'm not trying to be on no tough man gangster shit. That's not my thing. But my thing is,
because at the end of the day, we all living in this bitch, so ain't we all civilians? That's why motherfuckers be snitching. It ain't just black people who be snitching, it be everybody who be snitching on each other. The jail is full of rats. Like, what we talking about? A lot of people, you leave that. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? They tell to get less time. Like, this is just the reality of it. Ain't nobody trying to do that slavery. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's cool. My thing is that we need to start alleviating the problems other than saying, hey, don't snitch so the wickedness can continue. That shit weird.
That's a man.
But we civilians, though. He want to be considered a civilian, but it's like, you want them to keep doing this shit that they doing, my good son? No.
Man, you need to stand on what the hell you did and don't take down other people with you. But I do hear that they say it's no honor amongst thieves.
Exactly.
But we gonna see how things gonna go without him. But look, that wasn't it though. That wasn't it. Even though they locked Woody up, you feel me? They also made sure that he's gonna be kept separate from other inmates. Shit got really real. Really real. Cause Young Thug's lawyers like, hey dog, we knew he wasn't going to testify. The prosecutors knew he wasn't going to testify. Outside, he told them.
I knew he wasn't
everyone
gonna
heard him
testify.
saying,
Like,
I'd rather go to jail, but you still put him on a stand in front of the jury, and the jury has heard this man's name being implicated in murders. Very, very dangerous crimes. And for him to get on the stand and say, I plead the fifth, it poisons them. Listen to what Brian still has to say right here.
And then it seems like,
Mr. Steele.
It seems like he was threatening, coerced to do it. That looks bad on the state side. And my thing is, God forbid, what if it's true?
I'll entertain it right now.
I didn't want to hold
And they actually did.
And what's the basis for your mistrial? We didn't know he was going to invoke. We didn't know what he was going to testify to, and I certainly didn't let him. He was only asked one question. So at this point in time, there's really, you can't knowingly let a witness invoke their Fifth Amendment privilege in front of a jury, but that didn't happen in this case. Last thing we heard from Mr. Copeland was he was going to testify.
So everything you say, I'll adopt because I was about to say those words. Based upon information belief, I'd like to call witnesses from the prosecution. I was told, I do not have the personal information, but I was told that Mr. Copeland made that known to officers of the prosecution team prior to being called right now.
But it's what I was told. I mean, the last thing the court knew, and he has counsel.
If a party knows that a witness is going to invoke the Fifth Amendment in front of a jury, which poisons us, I mean, there's no doubt it prejudices Mr. Williams et al., all of them, because this trial's been going on now, I believe, 8 months in front of the jury. And they've heard Mr. Copeland's name however many times a court reporter says.
Casey, that's what we've heard.
No, the jurors have heard Kenneth Copeland.
And as well, okay.
I opened on him that he's the killer. We cross-examined all these witnesses about Kenneth Copeland. The state talked about Kenneth Copeland. My point is, if this honorable court finds that the state knew or had reason to believe that he was going to do this in front of a jury, that his response was going to be, I'm invoking the Fifth Amendment, then, Your Honor, yes, I adopt what you said. That's wrong of the party, and I'm moving for mistrial. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right. Yes, sir. It would apply to everyone. Yes, Ms. Love.
Your Honor, I'd just like to put some things on the record regarding Mr. Copeland. As we stated earlier, Mr. Copeland has...
I don't want to interrupt you. Your Honor, I'm just telling the court I am not accepting the proffer.
Your Honor, if I may...
Okay, but counsel gets the proffer, Mr. Steele. I can accept that. So could you sit down at that time, sir?
Why?
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, Mr.
Why would you do that if the nigga didn't testify? Like, why you... Man, this shit looking weird,
Love, you can complete your proffer at this point.
Your Honor, yes. Just to relay to the court the observations that members of our office have made throughout the course of this morning and throughout the time that we've been dealing with Mr. Copeland. Our cause for concern is Mr. Copeland's communication that he is going to us, that he is going to speak, that he is going to speak on the stand, that he is going to testify, and watching what happens when Mr. Copeland gets on the stand. Mr. Copeland did not want to have to be taken into custody. The court gave him the opportunity to have present in court with him someone who is supposed to be representing his best interests. What we have seen is communication, both verbal and nonverbal, between Mr. Copeland's supposed counsel and counsel for defendants. And a look as if I tried from Mr. Copeland's supposed counsel in the direction of counsel for the defendants after Mr. Melnick attempted to assert for Mr. Copeland. May I finish?
Let her finish, Mr. Melnick. Please sit down. I'll let you start. Okay? All right. Thank you, sir.
I'm assuming that's the guy who said he was going to testify as lawyer. And basically what she just did is she said that his lawyer and Young Thug lawyer are working together. And let's say they are, right? Because motherfuckers ain't stupid. Let's say they are. Bitch, you working with the fucking judge. Y'all both working for the state. What we talking about? I think y'all got more of a advantage than them, but y'all mad that they schooling y'all. They schooling y'all ass without even schooling y'all. Because let me would have been up in there. This shit wouldn't even went on for fucking 8 months. An 8-month trial. Y'all need to understand how expensive this shit is. This is money. And if this judge and this DA do not prosecute these niggas and get these niggas to go to jail, I was going to say slavery, but it's slavery. If they don't get these niggas to go to jail, guess what? The money for the trial, damn near the raids, all of that's going to fall on this DA and this judge. Don't believe me? Look that shit up, man. I ain't telling y'all.
While Mr. Copeland is on the stand stating that he wants to testify, that he will testify rather. So we are watching, and Mr. Melnick, I believe it may even be captured on film. The court can look at it. Mr. Melnick turns to the direction of counsel for the defendants and motions like, that's it. Then, upon information and belief, as we are standing out waiting for the jury to come in, Mr. Copeland requests to speak with counsel for the state, but Mr. Melnick keeps walking in. Then, as
Does he at any
Mr.
point in time tell you?
Copeland,
Does he at any point in time tell you I'm not going to testify? I'm invoke the Fifth Amendment.
no. As what happens, as Mr. Copeland requested to speak with the state, Mr. Melnick keeps going in regardless of Mr. Copeland's request to speak with the state. And then we learn that Mr. Melnick tells Mr. Copeland they are going to hammer you. So Miss Hilton comes back in.
They were. Y'all gotta understand, with his whole plea, yeah, he was gonna be let's say his immunity worked for this particular case, but what if they got more information on him? Remember, this is a RICO case. All of them were being investigated. So what if they like, okay, we'll give you immunity for this part of it, but then what if they try to lock you up for this part? And this is what his lawyer is warning him about. And that other jail stay that he might get with a later sentence might be longer than just 6 months of him if he just doesn't testify here. So he like, I could potentially do some years in jail for all that other shit. Or I can use that immunity that I got and then I fight this case and then they help him win, because if I help him win, it's going, what case do they got really against me? Do they really got a case against me? That's what's going on here. And man,
ask me, had I spoken with Mr.
Like they
Melnick,
don't got shit.
Had I told him that we are going to hammer Mr. Copeland, the state had not made any such communication with anybody. So what we are seeing, we believe, is tampering with witnesses. This particular witness on the part of
that's his lawyer.
People who are not the state. So we are.
But the state isn't his lawyer. And again, who is the fucking state? Y'all, he's supposed to be listening to the district attorney who was investigating them and trying to get him locked up and making him snitch on his homie. That's who he should be trusting. Like, what we talking about? That shit doesn't make any sense. And again, he has a lawyer. He was talking to his lawyer, but it's the fact you trying to say that his lawyer is working. Baby, you got to prove that. You can't just say that shit and then it's so. You have to prove that them lawyers are working in tandem together. But then even still, what the fuck could the court do about it if they are? What could the court do? If they trying to help this man and they trying to give him what it sounds like to me, excellent legal advice. Regardless on what you guys think, man, this is how the courtroom, that's why it's called a court. Like a tennis court or a basketball court. It's a game. And they outplan their ass right now.
Concerned. I don't know that Mr. Copeland's interest is being represented when that interest may not be in alignment with the people that Mr. Melnick is communicating with on breaks. And after Mr. Copeland has communicated to this court, he will testify. So watching the goings on as Mr. Copeland is not on the stand, it has been publicized, it has been hyped up that Mr. Copeland is the next witness. Mr. Copeland is the witness. And then Mr. Copeland, he's been nothing but cordial. He's been nothing but communicative with Ms. Hilton during the time that she has been interviewing him and speaking with him. And the reason Ms. Hilton was not in here just now when the jury came out is that Mr. Copeland asked to speak with Ms. Hilton. But Mr. Melnick kept going back in there and going back in there and going back in there. And the reason that we have a problem with this is that Mr. Copeland is not facing any charges. For Mr. Melnick to suggest or say to him that we're going to hammer him,
they're not bringing up charges on this particular, whatever that particular murder or whatever happened that they originally brought him in for. That's what he isn't being held for. But again, it's a RICO charge. He was also a part of YSL. He would get hit with that charge. Or let's say they could not be talking about the murder that apparently he's involved in, or whatever crime he did that got him in this situation in the first place to have to testify. If he doesn't testify, then it all goes away. Because what case do you really have? This shit is crazy.
It causes us to call into question whose interest he's representing. And so
they can hit him. That's what it was. They can hit him on that later for like later on, the murder that he did, they can be saying, okay, we're not gonna put you in the RICO case, but you did murder that man, and we gonna file suit for that. This is what's happening, and his lawyers are trying to prepare him for that, but they mad
that. You know, what I haven't even thought of in my mind an appropriate remedy at this point, because it is wrong for parties to inject themselves on behalf of purportedly one person and I don't know. I guess they're, I don't know what's going on, but I can say that this entire day,
don't know what's going on.
Starting from the point at which Mr. Melnick is invoking Mr. Copeland's Fifth Amendment right after Mr. Copeland has said he's going to testify, has gone a little off rails, and it's a little bit concerning. So, Your Honor, as to this motion for a mistrial, we would argue that it's caused by actions on the part of people other than the state. That Mr. Copeland got here and said what he did. So we will continue to speak with Mr. Copeland, because Mr. Copeland doesn't have any charges that are open. If he asks to speak with us, which he has, we'll go and speak with him. And I'm not even certain what is going on behind me with respect to persons who are purporting to represent the best interest of Mr. Copeland. But it would appear to me that Mr. Copeland's best interest would be served by Mr. Copeland not being inside the Fulton County Jail.
Taking that risk of you playing with him, no, let me help him get off. Then if y'all do bring up later charges against me, hopefully the fact that he got off will make things better for me. That's what's happening.
But that's just my opinion. So, Your Honor, I would ask that the court deny
this corruption,
the motion for a mistrial at the very least. And if it goes any further, find that actions by people other than the state have led to us being where we are. Because Mr. Copeland was at the point right before lunch of agreeing to testify. That is the reason we were ready to get started right before lunch. Because now he's been told he's going to be hammered by his attorney. I guess he told him that I guess the state's going to hammer him. I don't even know what. But Ms. Hilton has gone over the questions that she has for Mr. Copeland. She has spoken with him about it. They have been speaking cordially with one another. And this idea that somehow someone is entitled to mistrial as a result of this action on the part of Mr. Copeland is a farce.
She's saying a whole bunch
under these
of
circumstances. We'd ask that the court deny the motion.
All right, now Woody's lawyer then chimes in after being accused of cooperating with the other YSL lawyers to get Woody not to snitch. And another defense attorney, David Bott, says that he also witnessed Woody says that he'd rather go to jail than tell.
And for an assertion to be made that I or Mr. Copeland are somehow being influenced by somebody over here is absolutely ridiculous. I take great offense.
She doesn't, it would have been one thing if she had the proof that they was talking. That bitch just went up there and said, I think they talking to each other. I seen them saying stuff to each other. They could have been talking about the case and what. Bitch, that's defamation. That's literally defamation. And that was very stupid for her to get up there and do that. If y'all know anything about law, because what the fuck? And the fact that the judge let her go up there and just keep rambling, it's showing they damn near working with each other. And that shit's sick. That shit
of cooperating with the other YSL lawyers to get Woody not to snitch. And another defense attorney, David Bott, says that he also witnessed Woody says that he'd rather go to jail than tell.
And for an assertion to be made that I or Mr. Copeland are somehow being influenced by somebody over here is absolutely ridiculous. I take great offense to it, and I can tell Ms. Love that I am going to the state bar to report her for contacting a witness that she knows to be represented by counsel. She
kept saying that. She kept saying that. She was basically making it seem like the state was his counsel when he has a lawyer. And let's say he was listening to y'all at first before he got a lawyer. Well, bitch, he got the fucking lawyer now. So to make it seem like the state, because well, I don't see the state in this motherfucking room at all, but the state was supposed to be over his own lawyer. That's fraud. That's a lie. That's not how this works. But it's like if they plan that shit. That
conversations about Kenneth Copeland.
I know that they did know that he was going to take the fifth because I heard it said outside right before I walked into court. It said, the officer.
Then why didn't you, as an officer of the court, tell me?
That's not his job.
Before we took his testimony.
I told Mr. Steele.
No. Why didn't you, as an officer of this court, tell me?
Well, then that's my.
I got a problem with you now.
Now you got a problem with him?
I mean,
now you got a. Yeah, this judge corrupt. This judge is very corrupt. He's a very, very corrupt. But all the judges are.
No. Why didn't you, as an officer of this court, tell me?
Anybody who handles case
I got a
law?
problem with you now.
Oh, of course.
Well, that's fine.
Whenever you see the flag with the fringes on it, this is a fraudulent
I got a problem
court.
with you now.
This is a fraudulent
I would
judge.
suggest you don't say anymore.
What?
I've already said.
Like what?
I know that, sir. And the problem is, you should have told me if that
That's
were your
not his
case.
job.
Then you just made an argument we didn't even need to have, because I could have certainly asked him based upon your proffer. Now you want to have it both ways. You can't do that.
You didn't need him. You was already asking.
Knew that,
And that's not what the point is. The point
That's
is
not the point. Because if the state knew, what you mean? That's not the point. If the state, the district attorney knew that he didn't want to testify, and she still put him on the stand and tried to make him testify. What are you talking about? That's not the point. That's the literal point of what the fuck we talking about.
As an advocate, is you should have told me.
No, that's not.
Both sides have an equal responsibility under the rules of
Yeah,
professional
both sides.
responsibility.
Okay, as long as we're both responsible, that's
Thank
fine.
you. Thank you.
All right, have a seat, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like what the
Man,
fuck
this
we
whole
talking
trial
about,
has been
nigga?
crazy.
Like,
The
you say
judge
that
been
shit to that
snapping
bitch
and
over there,
shit.
too.
Like even that wasn't even the only exchange, bro.
crazy.
Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele went off on the judge once again because he says, you know, you've been doing me dirty in front of the jury, man.
This shit is corrupt.
Sir.
You allow another moment when Miss Love calls me that I did not do something. They have the exact image of what we got from the jail in Fayette County. That is it. And if I get another false allegation and you do nothing, I'm shocked.
Like
I'm
literally,
appalled.
this judge.
I sit here day after
what?
day with this false allegation just machine. I gave the state everything. There's been no disconstruction. There's been no purposeful, I don't care. I give over everything. I've done this for 33 years. Never in my life have I seen a trial. I've done 300 appeals in the state of Georgia alone. I've never read a case like this.
It is
Judge,
just, wow.
I gave them everything I had. I waited. I was at my office till 8. After 8 last night, I waited for their investigator to come by. I handed him an exact copy of thumb drive. They have everything that we got from the Fayette County Jail. There's been no deconstruction. There's been no purposeful exclusion. This is not the first time.
Okay.
And I apologize that I'm getting tempered. But I've never been treated like this. You talk about professionalism.
Literally, I ain't seeing
professionalism is lacking.
I'm not seeing no
with one
professionalism
lawyer.
right now. This is crazy.
It has never been.
This is
I don't even like coming
corruption
to
at the
court.
finest,
I
right
used to
in front
love
of
this.
us.
I would die for what we do. I used to
Whoa.
say, I'm dying. I would die. I couldn't choose a better profession. If I had litigated with Miss Love, I would.
Your Honor, could we strike the
No,
hominem
I'm
attack? Really,
speaking.
could we strike
And she just sat up there for fucking 10 minutes and threw slander on everybody in the mouth. She threw shit on literally everybody in the motherfucking courtroom. He didn't say shit. The judge ain't say shit or them. They let her talk. But the corruption is being pointed out. That's why she can't let them hear that. The judge gonna fuck around and listen to this weirdo. These people crazy.
I would die. I couldn't choose a better profession.
Sell out.
If I had litigated with Miss
Sell
Love,
outs.
I would
Your Honor, could we strike the
No,
hominem
I'm
attack? Really,
speaking.
could we strike that?
Okay, hey, everybody, calm down. Everybody,
This is
both of you please be seated.
Judge, I'm not
Both
done.
of you, please be
He's
seated.
not
You
done.
have to
What?
do something. You have threatened me with contempt. You have threatened me with jail. If you go back in time, we can just start in voir dire. Jury after jury, you did individual voir dire painfully. Miss Love would come in and say that juror was crying. It was not true. You would say, that's not my recollection after I said it. You did nothing. We start the
Okay,
case.
but Mr. Steele.
I asked you, please.
Mr. Steele.
Please, Judge, how would you feel if you were being treated
Mr.
like
Steele.
this?
Mr.
Well, I'd like to
And then the
finish.
fact that
Mr.
just
Steele.
interrupted him is crazy.
I gave them everything on that drive.
Man, his
and
shit
it's
is
continual
legitimate.
abuse of a prosecutor.
He got up there and
of
talked
another member
nonsense
of the
for
bar.
10 minutes.
I
He
don't talk
listened
with
to
Miss
every
Love.
word of it. Get out of here.
And that's
This
fine.
shit
I like
is
that.
disgusting, actually.
But Judge, I'm not going to stand
I
here
hope y'all,
anymore.
man. Tell the shit I
I don't
told y'all to
care.
look into.
You can take my bar card.
Mr. Seal, I'm not trying. I'm not.
Don't
Listen,
play fair.
but they're.
And Mr. Williams, you know, to me, this is an innocent man. You talk about, Ms. Love said there's a man in the Fulton County jail who shouldn't be there, Mr. Copeland. Mr. Williams shouldn't be in custody. But he's been charged, and we come here for a fair trial. It's been everything but that, according to Ms. Love has tried to demonize me. At times, Mr. Adams. At times, Mr. Shaw.
I object to
Now
the ad
it's
hominem
Mr.
attacks, and I ask
Well, you literally just did
wants
it,
to
lady.
win the case. And now she speaks over people. It's not right. I gave them everything.
Literally,
and
that's
by the
not
way, and what I
okay.
want to tell you, by the way,
And the judge
it's not
is
even a
allowing
law. If they call that gentleman on direct, I don't have to give them anything before trial. I do it because you asked me to. You said, listen, we got a big case. It's going to take a long time. Give them things. I gave this, by the way, to the state October of 2023. October 2023, that was uploaded, given to the state. I hear about it now, and I wait there, and I give them the exact duplicate of what we have, and now there's a false allegation of misconduct. And what I'm telling the court is what I said again. I do not appreciate it, and you have told him in front of the jury that I'm unprofessional. You were wrong.
And
Based that on Miss Love's false representation.
Your Honor, again, the ad hominem attacks, Your Honor. I object, and he should stop talking when I object.
Try to silence me.
Your
I will not be silenced.
But Mr. Seal, here's the thing. Okay, I think that Mr. Seal, please be quiet at this point in time. You made your point. You made your point at this point in time. Both of you, please proceed.
And you should.
I don't know what the hell the outcome will be, but I'm sure that the jury is exhausted. I don't know, man. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all gotta say in the comment section below. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, though. This has been another
crazy, man. This so-called justice study case law. That's what I leave you all with. You guys really need to do your research on case law, statute laws. And that they not really laws. They're not laws at all. They're codes and statutes. Literally that's all they are, codes and statutes. They're not laws. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. And if you guys want me to go deeper into, you know what I'm saying, understanding trust and stuff like that, let me know down in the comment section. But with that being said, KingMarcell out. Peace.
When the pain grows, anything goes. Devil is a lie, looking for the prize. That's eternal life, and bringing the change in my mind. Talking real peace of mind. That's something money.